Hi guys, I've just been messing around with this. This is a pretty interesting product. It's the Rumble Seat by Analog Alien. According to the online blurb, it is aimed at the rockabilly guitarist, but more than capable of some other tones, namely because the drive section is modeled after a plexi sound, which is a slightly confusing choice to me. I don't know much about rockabilly, but I don't really associate Marshalls with that sound. If you are a rockabilly connoisseur, please post in the comments, do rockabilly guitarists use Marshalls? I would have thought something more tweed orientated, or maybe a piggyback bassman would have been the kind of standard for those guys. But this is a good sounding gain and more than capable of coming up with some rock and roll tones. Actually sounds surprisingly good in its low gain settings. I'll give you some isolated examples of these things in just a second. But just to go over the other things on here, you've got an analog delay. Again, that's a slightly confusing choice to me. I would associate a tape echo with that genre. Although that's not absolutely necessary. You can get a slap echo out of pretty much any delay, but this one does it pretty well. It's got a nice sort of dark quality to it. It's not too obtrusive, and sounds good running into the front end of an amp, which is necessary with this because you cannot run 4-cable method. You can't put the drive in front of the amp and then the delay in a loop. Of course, for anything involving rock and roll, you wouldn't really be using a loop anyway, because back in the 1950s, amps didn't have effects loops, so I guess that's true to the style. The reverb is a blackface reverb. Again, rock and roll, rockabilly, I think of 1955 through to 1960. Blackface amps didn't really come out until the mid-60s, about 64. Might have been slightly earlier, but I'm pretty sure it's 64. So I guess if you're thinking of rockabilly as being something like the Stray Cats, that's the 1980s, right? So any gear that came before that is fair game. But yeah, some slightly interesting choices, but great sounds. Cool pedal, cool sounds. I like the concept. The price is pretty hefty. It's nearly $400 and 400 quid in the UK. For that, it puts it in direct comparison to something like the Fly rigs, which offer quite a lot of things. You get a boost, you get a drive, delay, reverb, tuner. The one that I've got has also got a Leslie simulator in it, and of course the SansAmp technology, which makes this a pretty hard sell. You've also got to figure that anything that is new has also got to compete with anything on the used market, so anything that you can pick up on eBay. And with 400 quid to play with, you could certainly pick up a carbon copy, maybe a TC Hall of Fame, and pretty much your choice of any drive pedal out there, and still have some change left over from the 400 price tag. So it's got its work cut out. Neat product. If you like it, you're really going to like it, and it's always great to support small companies like this. I believe this is a family-run business. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Later.